Adoption of agenda 2.1 recommendation that council adopt the agenda. Can I get a seconder? Any discussion? All in favor? Adoption minutes of 3.1 recommendation.
That council adopts the minutes from the special council meeting held on March 30th, 2022.
Can I get a seconder? Discussion? All in favor? 3.2 recommendations.
That council adopts the minutes from the regular council meeting held on April 6th, 2022.
Can I get a seconder? Discussion? All in favor? 3.3 recommendation.
That council adopts the minutes from the special council meeting held on April 8th, 2022.
Can I get a seconder? Discussion?
Yes, I would like to make a motion that council hold a open house at the end of May to explain to our residents the goals and the future of the fire department.
Marlene?
Oh, sounds like a great idea.
Can I have a second on that motion?
So, can I ask why this is being brought up in the minutes?
Because it's business arising.
No, we're on 3.3 recommendation that council adopt the minutes for the special council meeting.
Yes,
on April 8th, 2020.
And we had extra, Ruby Rose rise with report and had some motions up on there about our fire department.
Sorry, who seconded that? Anyone?
Nobody did?
I did.
Danielle?
When is our meeting, our next Firewise meeting in regard to, is it
We
prior?
don't have one scheduled.
I just feel it will be difficult to have a public hearing without us completing the current stuff with the fire department that we are looking at. I do.
We were done.
Are we done? Or do we have?
We addressed everything that we needed to,
Okay.
and so now we're just waiting for our org review. As far as fire department's concerned, we're done.
So we'll wait for that review.
No, that has nothing to do with the fire department.
Okay.
You've already
If that's all
approved
finished,
him going to 80%, so.
Okay. If that's all finished, then
So when would you want to start?
End of May.
Will you guys like be clear for end of May?
We can, yeah.
All
You
in
want an
favor?
open house at the end of May to what, sorry, Bart?
To discuss our goals and where the fire department's going in the future, et cetera, et cetera.
Does that give Blair enough time to put something together where he'd like to see the cars?
This is the end of May, so that's 6 weeks, so we got.
Danielle?
Open park.
I want our council to sit and speak because we're the ones that are okaying the money. And we should be able to answer the questions from residents or as council.
Yeah.
I agree with that as well. I'm just wondering if we're going to make sure that the Peace River Regional District is present, as they do pay 34% of the fire department budget, and we only pay 9% as taxpayers. So I'm just wondering if they're also going to be present as well.
I was thinking just our council.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We can't really decide where the fire department is going or what our service levels are going to be until we've consulted the regional district, because like Daniel points out, they're a good chunk of our funding for it, so we got to see where they want it as well. And in all honesty, it's kind of a moot point until after, well, it's not a moot point, it's one of those things we have to be cautious where Blair's at, because we do have that contract coming up for negotiation as well. And the other thing is, if we look at reducing our service levels, which I know that idea has been floated around, how does that affect the village's insurance? Because if we reduce our service levels from where we're at, it's going to impact our homeowners insurance.
That's something that we should discuss with our residents.
Well, it's something we should do some research into and look into to double check and make sure that it's not. Because when I looked into it for my insurance, and I live 10 feet outside the village, if the fire department declassifies as, then instead of being an interior attack, my insurance rates go up on my house.
And we can say that at the council meeting.
Exactly.
We can
Danny has her hand up. Danny?
I think my main question with that too, going back to what Councilor Woodall had said about how we are in the midst of negotiating our contract with Police River Regional District, and because they do pay such a large portion of the fire hall budget, is this something, I just don't want to do anything that could affect that contract that we are trying to maintain with the Peace River Regional District, because they do pay such a large portion of it. So that's, I just don't really want to step on too many toes. So
I'm for Leonard being here as well.
Well, sorry, whether Leonard's here or not, I'm just wondering if that's something that we should maybe invite them into, just to sort of be part of, or wait until after the contract negotiations. I totally agree with where you're coming from. Doing the whole open house thing, I think, is great. My only concern is that we are coming up with that conversation of redoing our agreement with the Peace River Regional District.
Right.
Is that the date of, is it June 30th or July 30th?
Sandy? For which agreement?
The fire department and the Peace River.
December 31st.
Oh, wow.
It comes up for renewal.
No, there is negotiations going on in the background with the medical. And Trish and Leonard were looking after that when I was on the regional district board.
So the fire services agreement, they're starting to look into it, but it's December 31st that it expires.
Yes, but they want to bring the medical and all that into it too. Right.
I just believe that we should be forthcoming with the people that live in this village about where we're going, where we've been, where we're going, and what that goal is of council with our taxpayers.
I'd like to, before we have a meeting and we bring the public in and start, answering all the public's questions, in all honesty, I think we should have that conversation with the regional district to make sure that we're on the same page as the regional district, or they're on the same page as us. Otherwise, we're saying one thing, they're saying another, and then reality is a whole other thing, right? And we've yet to have a conversation, as council, to sit down and have a conversation with the fire chief and the rest of the stakeholders in our fire department before we start making decisions. At least get their input, so then it gives us more information, so we can make a better informed decision on what's better for the community.
Right.
I believe that there has been a lot of discussion. I mean, I've been hearing about all kinds of things since 2018, even before that, about the fire department. And I think that it should be discussed. And whether or not the village even wants to go in that direction. Are we the ones who know best?
Go ahead.
And at this point in time, we don't know best until we've heard from all the stakeholders in it, which includes the regional district, because we have yet, in my time of council, we've talked about the fire department in every single meeting we've had. Something's come up about the fire department. We've had the Firewise report, we finally talked about the Firewise report, but we have yet to sit in the same room as the regional district representatives, right, with Leonard from Area D and the other stakeholders, to actually see where they would like to see the fire department that they're helping fund, so that we can at least all be on the same page. Because right now there's rumors of, well, I heard this and I heard that from that person, I heard this from that person. Let's get the person in here and get it right from the horse's mouth what they would like to see, because we have yet to have that since we've been on council, since Councillor Beach and I have been on council.
And I think if we push forward with the public meeting and then hold the open house, we can only talk on our current agreement. So the issue is that, yes, we can cover the current agreement that we do have, but to look at the future of the fire department would be very one-sided, because we pay such substantially less than the Peace River Regional District does. So even if the villagers, like the taxpayers, say, okay, well, we're wanting to not do this, we're paying 9% as taxpayers versus the Peace River Regional District, who's paying over 30%. So I get what you're saying. We can look at our current agreement that we have in place until December 31st, but the future conversation, I think, is the one where we're not going to have all of our ducks in a row from that conversation. We can look at it as what the taxpayers want, but because we pay a substantially less portion of the fire department budget than the Peace River Regional District does, they technically, that agreement does hold heavier than what our taxpayers do because they're paying more for our fire department.
Really?
So where do you see the money coming from if we're only paying 9%? And they're paying 35%, well, 34%. So that doesn't equal 100%.
No, the rest of the money comes from the regional, what's it called, the AAC, blah, blah, thank you.
The what?
The Peace River Regional Agreement, thank you.
And that's the infrastructure money, right? So actually, Coos Creek is giving up its infrastructure to pay for the fire department.
What's the fire, isn't the
So
fire
point
department?
of order, aren't we supposed to be on item 3.3?
And the fire hall is,
We're going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it is a rabbit hole.
it is, infrastructure money. 3.3
Are we
recommendation.
gonna defeat the motion?
We still have this motion on the table. Council hold an open house at the end of May to discuss goals of the fire department.
Do you want to defeat the motion?
Well, you just have to vote, call a vote.
Call vote, all in favor?
So that's 3 in favor?
Of the open house? Anyone in favor of Leonard to be there?
Make a note that I'm opposed until we've had a meeting with the regional district to make sure we're all on the same page.
I'm the same. And Sandy, can you call, Trish tomorrow and find out how she's making out with that medical contract?
Can we amend that motion, Councillor Smith? Well, can we, looking at it as only talking on our current agreement? Again, like that's all we can really speak on, is our current agreement with.
Sure, we're only gonna be able to answer what we know.
Yes.
We can't say, you know what I mean?
No.
As council, we're not gonna be able to say, we're doing this with the regional district, whatever, till we.
Have a conversation with the
Well,
regional district.
exactly, but
That's why we
as
should do that
council,
first.
we're gonna put out to our residents where we are now.
So you can only give the facts.
That's right.
Okay.
So is somebody making a new motion? Because this one's gone.
You have to make a new motion, Danny.
Okay, I motion that we do hold the open house, for the public, but we can only talk on the current agreement that we currently have with our fire department. It needs to be fact-based, really. I don't know how you're gonna put that into a motion.
How did we go from the goals of the fire department to contract?
No,
My understanding is you guys are wanting to,
She's saying the current contract.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we can only talk about the current contract, but I want you to reach out to Trish because I'm not on the
Okay.
board.
Too many things here. Open house to talk about.
Our current fire department status and agreements. Yes, that makes sense?
Yeah.
And agreement, somebody seconding that.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Make that noted too.
Councilor Waddell, same thing?
Yep, we shouldn't be discussing with the public until we've talked to the stakeholders.
Do you want it noted that you guys are opposed?
Yes, ma'am. I think a 30-minute meeting with the regional district prior to that meeting would be more prudent and include everybody in on
Okay.
what's going on.
Are you done? Good. Introduction of late items.
Can we pass the minutes, please?
No.
No, we haven't got there yet.
Can I get a seconder?
I'll second 3.3.
All in favor? Okay, introducing late items. 8.5 is the UBCM. It's opportunity to discuss RCMP's collective agreements. And late item 8.6 is the village's donation letter. And late item 12.1 is Miss Sandy Stokes CA. So public hearing none, delegation 6.1 recommendation.
That council proclaims the month of May 2022 Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month. Sherry Metaphor. Maya first, is here for the presentation of this proclamation.
I'll second.
Come on up, Sherry.
Okay, so proclamation, whereas multiple sclerosis is a chronic, often debilitating neurological disease affecting an estimated 1 in 400 Canadians and approximately 90,000 across the country, and whereas multiple sclerosis symptoms vary widely, as you can tell, may lead to problems with numbness, coordination, vision, and speech, as well as extreme fatigue and vision paralysis. And whereas there is no known cause, prevention, or cure of multiple sclerosis, and whereas the Multiple Sclerosis Society of Canada is the only national organization in Canada that supports both MS research and services for people with MS and their families, and whereas annual fundraising events such as MS Walk, MS Bike, AW Canada Burgers to Beat MS support programs enhance the lives of people affected by MS and their families and support MS research in Canada. And whereas since 1948, the Multiple Sclerosis Society of Canada has contributed $200 million towards MS research and is grateful for the dedication and commitment of its supporters and volunteers that has made this possible. And whereas together we will find ways to connect and empower the MS community to create positive changes and a world free of MS.
Lorraine McKetty, Mayor of Poo-Scoopy, Province of British Columbia, Canada, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 to be MS Awareness Month for the Multiple Sclerosis Society of Canada.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got a picture already. Are you want another one?
When we were looking, maybe.
No,
With our mouths open.
I don't know if your mouth was open. I
I
couldn't
don't know.
see it. I have my glasses on. All right, there we go. Perfect.
Thank you. 6.2 recommendation.
That council hears the delegation from the Dawson Creek Disc Golf. They would like to hold a one-day tournament at Poos Park on June 25th.
Can I get a seconder?
you're
Hello.
You guys want the podium here?
Sure. Where should we stand?
Over here.
Yeah, great.
Wherever you tell us to stand, we will stand.
There you go.
So hello, my name is David Radigan and I'm the president of the Dawson Creek Disc Golf Club. And this is Ron Bunin, a fellow board member and club member. This is my first time doing a delegation, so perhaps I didn't include all of the right things, but we had one set up prior to COVID that got canceled with COVID things, so I modified it slightly. We do want to hold a tournament in June, but I was hoping to present a little bit about disc golf. Is that okay?
Yeah.
If I take, 5 or so minutes just to
You
talk
got
about it.
15.
Okay.
You want 5, they'll give us 15.
Negotiations.
Firstly, we wanted to thank the village of Poos. We've had our baskets in the club or in the park there for the last 3 years, and we did not have a long-standing agreement. Some of us came in to take over the club from past leadership, and there was not a smooth transition, so we didn't know what kind of agreements we had prior, but we've been grateful to be able to continue to use the park, and it has been used quite a bit. We use an application called UDisc to play. If you are familiar with disc golf, it's similar to golf. The object is to get a plastic frisbee or a disc inside the basket. So there's a picture of a basket here included, and yeah, the disc goes into the chains and rests in the trays. That considers the end of your hole, and so it can be played anywhere that you can imagine it, essentially, but most people like to play in parks, and it's we have a course in the Dawson Creek Park as well, and it's been growing in our region. Grand Prairie just hosted Alberta Provincials last year that some of us attended, and they had over like 150 people competing, so There's quite a bit in our Peace region area. There's a club in Fort St. John as well, and we kind of travel, across the border and host different tournaments and events. So, anyways, not to get ahead of ourselves, we have been using the park quite a bit. Disc golf has been growing quite a bit as well. I'll skip ahead just to where we use this app, and it has a nice little map here, and it shows in 2019 the rounds recorded people using the app was about 91. They expect that people use it maybe 5 times more than rounds are actually recorded, because a lot of times people will just go play. I have kids, my daughter and me will go throw a few frisbees and then play on the swings, whatever. So that wouldn't be included in this, but each round that's played is probably about an hour of recreation. So in that first year, there was at least 91 rounds played. The next year there was 215, and then last year we had almost 300 rounds recorded, which is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And we also play throughout the winter. So when the gates were open this last year, some of us were out there trudging in the snow too. It's not like ball golf where you're restricted to only playing when the weather's nice. You can play in any weather there.
Don't get that wrong. There is some fair weather disc golfers, but the people that are, I want to say borderline obsessed or just a little wacko, like myself, I don't care if it's minus 40 and I don't care if there's 10 feet of snow.
Yeah.
If I can get out and play, I'm going to get out there and play.
Yeah.
And
so that when the club was founded in 2015, they put in a 9-hole tone pole course in Dawson Creek, which was used as much as 1,022 rounds last year. We know that it was used more than that because we run into people that play like every single morning and they just run the course or they walk their dog as they play. So it's actually grown so much that people are looking for other places to come, so they'll drive to Poos regularly to play because the course here is actually a little bit more challenging and it's a better circuit, and the baskets here are actually better quality.
They're good at hiding Easter eggs and stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely.
because the baskets that we have here are our top level baskets. The baskets we have at our full-time course in Dawson are a lower grade basket.
Yeah.
We're actually looking at revamping Dawson to a proper 18-hole course, which Poos definitely would come into a lot of play, because if we can get a proper 18-hole course, we're bringing people from Grand Prairie, we're bringing people from Fort St. John, we're bringing people from all over the province to come play there, which they'll come and play here, which is going to bring more people into the village.
Yeah, so
Economics.
Sorry?
Economics.
Yeah, there's a lot of good avenues. I think one of them that we like to discuss is the healthiness of it, that it is like an active, your heart rate's up, you're walking around. People often get, your daily steps in playing a couple rounds of disc golf.
Do you guys have clinics and stuff like that?
We actually are. We're working with the Northern Toy Box, Andrew Ho, some of you might know him. There's a pro in Grand Prairie that we're working to come out and host a clinic, so that's kind of in the works. Nothing's set.
So you're going to do it at Poos Park? Or?
Yeah, we're looking at Poos Park just because the quality of the baskets is higher and the space is a lot more spread out.
And honestly, it's a nicer course. The way it's set up is it's a little bit more challenging for us here, because Dawson, the challenge we have in Dawson is wind. Wind is the biggest challenge we have because we have no idea which way the wind's going to go. Down here we have a little bit of a wooded, we have a little bit of, hey, there's a river right there. A little bit more challenge. When you go to other courses like Grand Prairie or Kamloops, and I've played heavily, huge amount of games in Kamloops, we're playing heavily wooded courses. We're playing at a higher level of game, which Poos kind of gives us that little step more than what
Well,
we have.
if you guys want to come down July 1st, because we're planning July 1st, would you guys think about a clinic down there or something?
For sure, the club could for sure. There's a lot of people that like to volunteer, and we've done that in the past in Dawson. Different, I think it was Shell was hosting these sort of like development days where they'd have different recreation, so people would bring baskets out. But that's certainly something that we would be interested in. Yeah. So there's a health benefit. Also, this last year, we're kind of like the neighborhood watch. We're down there a lot. There's been a few times that we scared off kids drinking on the beach because we're playing disc golf. One time we went down and there was a random car with no license plate.
No license plate parked right in the roadway.
Right in the path.
So we
one of our club members is also an RCP member, so he phoned the back line and, police came.
Yeah,
and
took
took
care
care
of
of
that
that.
and took care of that
So
and
We're
removed
always-
that from
The destruction.
being there.
So we're out and about, members we take it upon ourselves to clean up, for ourselves, but also for others. If we see trash, we'll pick it up, put it in the garbage.
We've even gone as far as doing just, it's pretty much a pack and play where we just pick up garbage and we play around. And while we're playing around, we're picking up garbage.
Yeah.
And we've done that a couple of times in Poos. We've done it a couple of times in Dawson, just to kind of help clean up. Yeah, we may not have made the mess, but
So did
people
you guys see our cleanup thing? You should maybe contact Sandy.
We'll reach out to
because,
Sandy after this.
Yeah, for
'Cause we-
the cleanup.
Okay.
So if you guys are cleaning up,
Sure.
because when's our date? We haven't picked one, but we're
It's
doing it
clean up
in
in
May.
We'll
So I
reach out to-
imagine the park would be involved in that.
We've done it we signed up again this year in Dawson, does a similar cleanup in the club. We have lots of volunteers. I got several kids and we come out, clean up.
But I mean, we're giving money, right? For the clubs, Sandy?
Pardon?
We're giving money to the clubs.
So we're gonna divide the town into sections. I think it's either 4 or 6 sections that Public Works divides, and it's $200 per section.
Okay, yeah, we'd be
And the parks
interested in that.
included in that?
yeah.
We can.
One thing about the disc golf community is I've been volunteer and I've done years and years of service with fire, with other
Familiar.
Yes, I actually served 5 years with Poos.
Oh,
And not retired because I didn't have enough time in Poos, but I left in 2018 because of my work. I'm now at the scale here. I'm CBSE now.
Yeah.
So, being one thing beneficial when I leave work, as Marcel said, you're wanting this more because when you leave work, you can go there. Well, yes, I can.
A little conflict of interest.
Right? I have to pass the course on my way home. Sorry, I'm late for dinner. Had to.
But it's healthy, had to.
I've never been involved with more of a association like disc golf that wants to help, that wants to actually go out and do more for a community.
So yeah, on that note, right now the club, or the course here has 9 temporary baskets. The tees are marked with fence posts near the ground. Over the last 3 years, some of those have come loose and it's not quite as well marked as we'd like it to be, but we didn't want to do anything without permission. Also, the baskets are not concreted in, which normally they are. We'll dig a hole and put, it's like a metal sleeve that goes, a couple feet down, a couple bags of concrete, and then the basket slides in and you can lock it into the sleeve. Right now, instead, we have eco spikes and cable locks, so it's a little bit.
Someone could cut the lock.
Yeah, it's not the best situation, but we also didn't want to make an environmental impact without approval.
We also didn't want to make it a permanent course without the village going, yes, you can. Whereas we don't know what the agreement was with our previous board. So that's why we're here to see where we stand, how it's going, what we're looking at with feedback on.
Well, was this temporary because we aren't done down there? Because we were gonna do a walking path and other things down there. And so that's why we never let you guys cement it.
Right.
Totally fine.
I suppose moving forwards, we would like to work towards a usage agreement. Not saying that we would commandeer the entirety of the space, but working with the village to potentially work with mapping out an area that we could use. Because there's certain areas of the park that are very heavily wooded with fallen trees that we could carve a short fairway out of those areas. We can use space that maybe is underutilized. And we also just wanted to know if it's okay if we continue to use it, because last year we had quite a few league events. We ran league nights on Mondays and Tuesday nights, and so we'd have 20 to 35 people out there playing disc golf on different nights. The club is insured, all club members are insured. We have $5 million liability for all sport activities.
And Sandy has a copy of that?
I can email you a new copy. We just got our COI out this year, so I can do that this week. But we are covered this year under, it's BC Ultimate, but BC Disc Sports essentially. So any disc sport, including disc golf, we're covered up to $5 million, so we're insured essentially. But yeah, we would like to grow the sport. We'd like to host tournaments. That one date was one that I had been working with Grand Prairie that we were going to host one, that they would maybe travel here to come. So there are economic opportunities depending on how it looks like. Usually it would be like a two round event, so one in the morning, one in the afternoon, where we wouldn't necessarily provide lunch, but we would encourage people to go locally because they'd only have like an hour for lunch. So, you know, we could reach out to local food proprietors and say, hey, we're going to have this influx of people on this day, and you know, again, they can maybe offer discounts or whatever. That's like a discussion the club could have with them. But essentially, it does have some economic growth to the area. People will be stopping for food and drink. They will be potentially bringing their families, maybe even hauling trailers. I don't know if you guys have a campsite here, but
Yeah, well, there's supposed to be one across the way, but they're having issues with the regional district, so.
fair enough. So, yeah, I don't think we want to go too long. Is there anything else you want to
So what if I make a motion on the floor, on the, that you deal with Sandy on this thing, and then she can bring it back to council, and we can decide.
Okay.
I'm sure council's okay with the fact that you're using the grounds.
Can we potentially confirm that date of June the 25th so I can begin planning that tournament in the meantime and also work with Sandy? Or
So I'll make that motion that on June 25th, you guys can have the park. Can I get a second?
Second.
And a motion for you to work with Sandy, with your contract, and then Sandy can bring it back to us. Okay? All in favor? Okay, guys.
Perfect, thank you very much, I appreciate the time and look forward to hearing back from you soon.
You bet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'll see you guys July 1st.
Yeah.
Yes, we can make that happen.
Yeah, we have a board meeting tomorrow, so I can bring that to the board and see if we can get some volunteers. But I'll work with Sandy and report back to you guys.
Sure.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, guys.
Yes, you as well.
Unfinished business arising from the minutes. New business, 8.1 recommendation.
That council received a report on the survey results for information and discussion.
Can I get a second? Discussion?
Excuse me.
You guys go up there, please.
Any questions? Yeah.
So, can we get them to come back, because they came literally when it was -40 for like a whole month?
Are you switching gears now?
What are we doing?
We're talking survey results here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the survey results.
Yeah, that's what we are talking about, survey results.
Survey on the back, Dan, on the back.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, nope, sorry. Totally, my brain was on highway mode.
No, we'll get to this.
Sorry.
Okay. So, Sandy, there's lots of, good things from, right? All is going well, keep up the good work. Right?
I wasn't quite sure why these were brought out.
Because I asked for them at the last council meeting,
Oh, okay.
because we wanted to know if the residents actually wanted this.
So, we have 1.75% of 800 people who have filled out surveys. Now, 1%, which is 8 people, who want to continue on with full costs provided by the village for these activities. And council, we're supposed to make a decision based on 1%. And we don't even know if these people are from HPP because they could be from outlying areas. This was provided through the post office, I believe, was it? Yeah. It just seems rather random.
Rather random, they're just comments that people make. Marcel?
So, just saying, if it's only 1% that bother to even answer back on them, right, they don't know if they're all from the area. To me, that says that there's 90% of people out there, or 99% of people out there that didn't care enough to fill out the paperwork.
So the 1% chance.
Right, well, that's what voting's for, right? Not everybody votes.
Bart?
Was this part of our survey to ask for volunteers or no? Okay, that was something we had previous.
This was, the volunteer one went out before Canada Day back in 2018, last Canada Day we had. This one was a result of council discussing different events that we were having and questioning whether we should pay for them or the public should pay. So you guys had asked for a survey to go out with the different events and the approximate costs that we were spending on them and ask if we should pay for full cost or pay partial cost. That's all it was. And like I said, it's 2 years ago.
Thank you.
That was just a discussion. Do you have anything to say, Ben?
No.
Okay. 8.2 recommendation.
That council receives the library museum budget, requests for information and discussion.
Can I get a second? Second. Discussion. I heard that there was a little rumor going around that one of the councilors wanted to slash the library budget. It was actually brought to my attention. Is that true?
I haven't heard anything.
All of them discussed and just bring it.
How could we want to slash the library budget when we haven't seen it? This is the first we've seen.
I don't know. I was questioning today on it. That someone was making a comment.
We were just asked to present the budgets. You're there.
I was one of the people that asked to have the budget brought back, just because due to COVID, I know that there was not much spending going on. And so, I'm just sort of wanting to look into those things. You know, I know that the budget hasn't really changed much in the 2.5 years we've had COVID. They've received the same budget each year, but the output from the library hasn't been the same. So it's not about cutting the budget. I'm just interested to make sure that there's balance there. I was the one who wanted it brought forward.
You what?
I was the one who asked to have the budget brought forward.
Yeah. But I didn't get that information from the person that was you. But anyway. Mark.
I have just a couple of questions. Do we have stats before COVID? How many people go to the library? Do we have any stats? Has that been done at all?
Councillor Evans in 2018 did ask to have those stats of how many people were registering and how many new patrons we are getting to the library and all that kind of stuff. Courtney did present on it at that point in time. I think it was 2018.
Spring of 18.
Yeah, and at that point in time, I know just from my own volunteer time that the library was pretty busy. It did often have youth from the community. We had many of the college students were coming out and writing exams out there. They had to get new computer systems in because of the exam writing. They had to get a laptop because the library was so busy that they were having trouble with people writing exams in the main library sections. They were using Corky's office. It was a whole, and so it was a very bustling place. I know since COVID, things have definitely slowed down, but as the community is stretching their roots and waking up and sort of coming alive, that things are getting busier there again. Also pre-COVID, there were multiple clubs. I ran 2 clubs out of there, plus the school had multiple clubs, plus the library had their own clubs, plus they had older students in grade 7 who were creating clubs for the younger kids. So it was very, 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 very busy, and I do look forward to the point in time where it's that busy again, but I know it is definitely slowed down due to COVID.
Good for her.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty bustling place. Yeah, it was extremely busy. But I do know that, yeah, Councillor Evans in 2018 did ask for a list of new patrons, and it was really difficult to use that data because while there weren't a lot of new patrons signing up, it was a very busy, bustling place. So yes, okay, she wants to know how many new members were signing up at that point in time, but it wasn't the bringing in the new members that was the big grab, it was supporting the community and that.
And people were still coming back. They're
Oh,
coming back,
yes.
coming back.
Yeah, well, because that library services Pooskoopi, Tom's Lake, Gundy, that whole area, right, so. And then there's actually people from, Dawson Creek who use the Pooskoopi Public Library because, it has some of the oldest collection of encyclopedias and that type of stuff, in British Columbia, so. It's actually pretty cool. Isn't that really neat? Yeah, and so they're also one of the only, libraries in BC that has like all the Morris Kohansky books. She's got all the.
Okay, point of order, let's get back on track. Does anybody else have any other questions? Danielle?
First, are we still looking into this? Should we bring it back? No, bring it back.
What was that?
I was just asking if it was still being like looked into, got everything
It's gonna
here.
be presented in the next report. Budget.
And it gets voted on today? Is that?
No, it's just a discussion today.
Thank you. Okay.
Barb?
That's a lot of money for operation. The wages.
It's not volunteer, we have to have a library director. Does that include her, is she on a benefit package or anything? Sandy? Do you know?
Refer to the finance.
All
we're doing is what's here.
Oh, okay. Maureen?
So I'm assuming that the board is the one who decides. At least that's the way that they're doing it for the museum. They're the ones who make the
That's my
decisions.
understanding.
Yeah, and I mean, whatever
For wages.
her,
And really, that's not much for what she does for programs and stuff like that.
well, I did a little bit of research. Librarian average salary in Vancouver with their library science, their master's degree is 59 something, about $60,000. But I mean, if she's got her master's or whatever, but the board thinks that she is valued
Exactly.
to that level.
It's not something that we need to interfere with.
No.
Any other questions?
Has the library, board looked at the financial benefit of being open 6 days a week? Like, I'm just throwing it out there.
How many days a week are they open? Danielle?
They, hang on, I have to think about this actually. They are closed Sundays. I remember correctly. Every time. If I remember correctly, I'm totally blanking in all honesty if they're closed on Sundays or not. They're,
Yes,
yes, okay, yeah.
Open Saturdays.
So, yes. so
Monday
they
to
are-
Saturday.
Yes, so they are currently open 6 days a week and they're open Saturday, so that, the librarian maintains a full-time, the director has a full-time paid position, so it's 40 hours a week. Because it doesn't, her day doesn't start till 2 p.m. because the school.
And when did they close?
7.
2 to 7 is not 8 hours.
No, I know, that's why she works.
She works in the morning at the school, does she not?
So she
She's not a
works.
librarian in the school?
No, they're completely different. Yeah, so she doesn't hold any degree or anything, so.
Okay. And the museum? Did you wanna say something? Did you stand
No.
up?
I'm not, the museum, you know, their budget looks good, but I heard that they're gonna be open 7 days a week, and I'm wondering, what are their numbers? Why do they feel that they have to be open 7 days a week? I'm just asking as,
I haven't heard anything about that.
Museum, Marlene, your board liaison, go ahead.
discuss that. I missed the first meeting where they were discussing it, but I manage to get in there on Thursday. And they are going to be open 7 days a week. But as I was reading through this, they have additional monies from the COVID, and they're going to be using that up. I'm assuming. I don't know if they'll be doing that year after year.
Okay, I'm just curious.
8.3 recommendation?
That council received the budget proposal for public works, environmental health, public health and social welfare, and recreation for discussion. And that council agrees to set April 25th, 2022 and April 28th, 2022 as special meeting dates if needed.
Can I get a seconder?
All three of us.
Take your pick. That would be a Sandy.
Discussion.
So,
Marcel?
this is the same for public works and stuff, that's the same as what we went over in the last meeting.
There was a few minor changes in the wages and benefits, and there was a question as to why the bins had increased, and it was just a mistake. It was just a number that was in there.
I just have one question. On here, it says Poos Park, we have a budget of $53.84. Is that how much, does wages get allocated to that? Or is that just repairs and maintenance to the park? So
Repairs and maintenance. There's no wages.
Get allocated, so the wages don't get allocated to different departments?
They do, but not to Parks and Recreation. They just be looked after through Public Works.
Well, I'm just kind of wondering if we should start up another rec commission again, right? Good idea. Right, because, I don't know how much it would cost or what, right?
The rec commission.
Well, we used to have a rec commission here that we played, baseball and I taught, baseball, I coached baseball.
How long was that?
Well, the boys were little. Derek was 8, he's 33 now. He'll be 34 tomorrow.
So back in the 90s.
Well, I was on the rec committee when I first moved here in 2009. There was the committee and then Nadine Gagnon.
Yeah, no, I left that.
Yeah, did that, so, yeah,
It's
there was.
been tried a few times. I think we've never found the right person to run it.
Well, we had Marilyn Hedberg, but she was really, really good at it.
Hard to find that person.
Yes, that volunteer issue. We can't say.
No, we haven't had any issues with Canada Day for volunteers, none whatsoever.
The potential is phenomenal, like, you know what I mean? I know that we did a few years back, we did a cooking thing where 10 of us got together and we got a local chef to come in and we did Italian one night, and then we did Chinese, whatever. We did that once a month. But our community center would be just excellent if we could get some more programs in there.
We would have to hire a rec coordinator again.
And we don't have him anymore? No?
Well, since COVID, we have, and he couldn't find volunteers, you couldn't find people to do things, and it really wasn't.
Can you reach out to Jeremy Linkley? To see if he wants to do a rec
So
commission?
if you put a rec coordinator back in the budget, you're looking at what did we pay?
Oh, I think it was about 30,000 a year.
Yeah.
I think.
30,000 for the kids to play ball
A
and.
rec coordinator
For the
to,
coordinator,
somebody has to
and
coordinate
then-
all that.
And then you have to fund the program. I believe we've had 5,000 in recreation right now, and that's for stuff that's currently going on at was pre-COVID going on at the community center.
Okay. Just wondering. Danny?
Excuse me. Could we, I know that we do have this issue getting volunteers and it is like pulling teeth. As I said, the library's really struggled for the past three years, but is there a way we could look at putting the idea out to the community to start the rec committee again?
See if we want to do that committee again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So it's not hiring a coordinator, because that's like, when I was on the rec committee in 2009, it was myself and 5 other ladies, and we were given a budget of, I think it was 10,000 for the year, and we were responsible for putting on the events. Is that something maybe we should put out to the public and see if we can?
Well, anything that we do needs to go to the public.
Yeah, right, but sort of see if somebody would be willing to step forward.
Yeah, that or see if there's a nonprofit that's interested in taking it on as a.
Well, and currently there is the 5,000
Yeah.
in there.
You wanna put that motion on the floor, Barry?
Yeah, I motion that we put something in the Village Voice, maybe, reaching out to the community, see if anybody would be willing to step up to restart the rec committee.
No criminal background?
They would have to get a criminal records check because it's working with children.
Yeah.
There's no,
Vulnerable sectors check.
pardon?
Vulnerable sectors check.
Mine?
We used to have a rec commission.
Yes. But that was closed down in 1992.
Is that, what's the difference between a commission and a committee? The committee is,
Volunteers, and I think a commission
Is
is
run under the village.
run under.
Commission wasn't paid.
no, they weren't.
The commission is run underneath the village, it's like the library, right?
It is.
So you receive money from the library, or from the village. It was in 1992 they folded, 92, 93. When
The rec commission had their own monies. And they even put money aside in a fund that other people came on the commission and they couldn't touch that unless it went into infrastructure. And didn't she use that for
The ball diamonds.
the ball diamonds? So, yeah, and they bought their baseball uniforms, they bought all kinds of equipment, they did all kinds of things. And a committee, wouldn't we be putting the money in and they work within that funding?
Yeah.
So it kind of caps it, so
When I was on, it was a committee, yeah. We were given a budget.
I believe the committee can still raise their own funds.
Yes.
can they?
Yes. They can be fundraisers.
That's what I was asking,
Yeah.
what's the difference between a committee and a
I
commission?
don't know what the difference is.
So let's get back on to track here. Point of order. Second. Yeah, okay, I'll second it. All in favor?
We were discussing, let's see, page 75, and in 2026, your projected budget, from 21 to 22 to 23, 24, 25, there's a difference of, 10, 11,000. And then it jumps up to,
For wages?
Page
No, no, the
75,
total.
Under public works wages?
no, the
No.
total.
Oh,
Then it jumps 114,000.
Wages. Oh, you know what? I think that got met, no, when he was making the change for the, fire chief allocation, it must have got missed.
he didn't do it for that column?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to point that out and say,
I'll double check, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
okay. And, okay, so it's up in that.
We're under time constraints.
Oh, Trina, I'm just,
Is that just for the streetlights? Did you talk to BC Hydro about the streetlights? Cause there's some grants and stuff to get all the streetlights. I see Williams Lake got it. He did send us an email around.
So we haven't done an audit. That's gonna require an audit of all the lights. BC Hydro's in the process of replacing all the lights.
Are they?
Well, it's on their radar to do the,
Corridor?
not to put new lights, to replace all the lights
Yeah,
with
with
the
the
LEDs,
Yeah.
right?
Cause they were supposed to do the whole corridor, when they talked to Ministry of Transportation, they were supposed to do the whole corridor.
They're supposed to do the whole village
I know,
eventually.
but when did I talk to Ministry of
They
Transportation?
have till 2023, I believe, to complete the project. I can reach out to them, see where they are on it.
Please, cause it's so dark out there.
Well, if there's new areas that you want lights, we need to.
Yeah, no, that's capital special projects, I just want the lights that we have right now changed to LED, cause it's so dark. And then we can see where the shadows are,
Okay.
and then we can do that.
I'll ask them where they are with that.
Okay.
Can we jump to page 76?
Yeah.
Garbage contract. Our favorite thing to discuss. Have we like shopped around to look at like Blue Wave and all
It
of
has
that?
to go out to RFP,
Oh.
and we just haven't not had the time to do that. It'll be rewritten, we're gonna redo it.
Okay.
And basically we're gonna ask for that for proposals, so they will tell us what they can provide at what price, and then we can kind of select.
Wasn't somebody helping you do RFP?
We're gonna get Doug to help us.
Yeah.
We're waiting for.
But you told us that last meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last meeting.
It's just because you have such a large jump.
Well, and I can't say that that's gonna change a lot, the amount, I mean.
Wasn't the garbage
Because-
monthly?
When we did price it out, we have looked around ourselves, just what it was, and they're giving us a fairly good rate. So whether or not they'll stay there, or somebody else can do it cheaper.
Sure, garbage is very expensive.
Everything else.
I got a dumpster.
We'll all go to Marcel.
Yeah.
Have we heard, anyone from that fire truck that we were buying for $1?
They haven't got back to us yet.
Can you reach out to Trish tomorrow to get that figured out? Cause we need to know if we gonna sell it or what we're doing with it before
It's
summer.
not ours to sell.
No, but if we take it back, if we get it, we need to really, if we're gonna do wildfires or whatever, cause it's gonna be dry this year. Right? It'd be nice to make sure that we have it.
Smiling. Did you want these dates?
Yes, please. We're gonna need them.
I'll make a motion that we meet April 25th, 2022 and April 28th, 2022. To
Special meeting.
Just say special meeting. It's gonna be.
just
cover all
special
sorts of
meeting
things.
to
What time?
cover the budget, right?
Yes, for budget.
What time?
Is everyone okay with 4:30 on both days, or 5? 5?
I can do the 28th at 5 if we're done by 6:37. I have another board meeting that night that I have to be.
Okay, what about the 25th?
25th.
Monday. The reason we've done it that way, sorry?
I can't do the 25th. I'm so
Can you do any time on the 25th? There's a date thing we're on a crunch here because of the budget.
I think I can do the evening of the 25th, but he can't. Hang on.
On the 25th.
Wait,
I
he
can do
no, he said
25th.
the 28th.
The 28th,
We're on the okay, let's discuss the 25th first, please.
Okay.
the 25th, I'm good.
My stress level's going up. Took us a long time to everybody see dates.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm attending a workshop on that day and I'm trying to find the poster for it. I think it's in my phone. Okay, deep breath. 4 to 6, so I can do the 25th at 7 p.m.
Okay,
I can do the 25th anytime.
everyone can do 7 p.m.?
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, on the 25th. 28th at 5 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, you can call your motion now.
All in favor?
Thank you.
8.4 recommendation?
That council received the budget proposal for general government, fire department, revised water fund and sewer fund information and discussion.
Sorry, it didn't print properly. I
No,
don't think. It's kind of backwards and.
We're all so tiny.
I think I got my agenda all foobarred up anyway.
Very interesting, page 82.
Okay.
Trina,
Yeah.
you can point the finger at us. That deficit looks absolutely frightening. For 2 years, absolutely.
I'm trying to find it.
Page 82.
Top right-hand corner are the numbers.
I know they are. But I got my agenda so screwed up here.
I think it's on the other side of the mold line, I think. There you go.
So, Trina, was this money, I know at one point that there was money in GICs, so would that money be used for
Yes.
these,
The reserve accounts, yes.
for these deficits? Yeah. Do you know how much money is left in GICs?
Currently, I believe it's 4.6.
So we're in a deficit? So where's the lawyer's costs and all that in here on the 2021?
You have, this is the overall, you need to go into
Keep turning pages.
into the general government, so it starts out with revenue.
Could we have that verified next time, how much is still in GICs with
Yes.
the?
What page is that, Trina?
What is it that you're looking for?
Lawyers and that. Do I have to dig down?
You need to go all the way to general government. 103?
Thanks, Zach. Legal, $130,000.
That was what year to date in 2021.
Year to date
That's what we spent in 2021.
was $130,000.
Yes.
So the liability insurance, that covers down at the park and all that too, Sandy? That's $11,000, Trina?
Yes.
Okay, 9,000 now.
The blanket for the whole village.
I think you guys should maybe raise the budget up on legal since you guys are taking me back to court. So you guys need to up that. Danielle?
Were you in a deficit last year too?
Yes.
That's what it says. Deficit for.
I don't know.
No.
First year I've ever done it.
Deficits in 2021 was a deficit. Bart?
We only bring in, $366,084 in taxes, Yes. Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking money out of the money that we get from the Peace River Regional Agreement that we're supposed to be used for capital projects. And the total, what is it, 1 what?
6 million deficit, is that what you're saying?
That would be for this year. We're not sustainable, okay? So we've got a sewer problem down there that we've decided we're going to put sort of a Band-Aid on it and get us whatever, and then we're going to look.
No, it wasn't a Band-Aid.
There is no frickin' Band-Aid putting on that
Okay.
sewer.
Can I speak?
Well, don't say that we're putting a Band-Aid on it when the residents are watching this video, when it's not a Band-Aid. We're actually fixing it.
Not permanently. We are looking at a study. Okay, are we not looking, having urban systems look at moving our ponds or whatever? Are we not?
Did we not vote on doing like a $3.6 million fix on the?
Yes.
So there's a difference between a $300,000 Band-Aid and a $3.6 million fix. I'm just
Okay.
just saying, that's all. Remember, we voted on fixing that.
My words were wrong. We are initially looking at a project for $750,000 to get us for spring runoff, correct? To get us down and approved by the environmental.
Yeah.
That $750,000 that we've contributed is so that we could apply for all those grants, because there is a $3 million grant that we're trying to apply for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the permanent sewer would be 3 point something.
Mm-hmm.
We only have 4 points left in our GICs. We are spending beyond our means, and I don't see any way that we're even trying to cut back or.
Let's look at the lawyer fees. $136,074. I took the village to court twice.
And
Twice.
we've had other cases.
Because of incompetency. $136,074 our legal fees were. There was two other ones, Barb. 2 other ones. You guys still have the lawyer on retainer to take me back to court. That is a cost to the taxpayers because you guys feel that you don't need to pay me. You guys took my powers away from me on a public meeting, but you won't give me my powers back to me in a public meeting. Let's talk about spending, Barb. Let's talk.
Okay.
Danielle.
Okay. The lawyer fees are a non-conversation at this point in time. Because you can make your statement and do your big thing, yeah, 110% go for it. But at the same time, you also have to realize that there are partners within this village who pay into this village who stated on the record that they refuse to work with you.
What partners?
Go back and read all the records, Lorraine.
Go back and read all the records. People refuse to work with me.
It was in the paper.
It wasn't in the paper. It wasn't in the court documents. You told me that all people wanted me not to talk to me. Didn't want me talking to the village.
I'm just
Talking on
saying,
behalf.
the
That
risk
was in
of
the court documents.
losing partners would have cost more.
No. We already have partners. They already have partners down at the rehab center. They seem to come around. Yeah, they did.
The cost of doing business to maintain the village decisions.
So, yeah, I get that, we're spending more than, we got more going out than we've got coming in, but where would you suggest we start cutting?
We can't. We should be questioning everything. How much money we're spending. Like,
Danielle?
At this point in time, you know, we are spending above our means, yet we're a village that still has things that need to be fixed. We have roads that need to be repaired. We have a $3 million
But we're not fixing roads with this.
And that's exactly, like, we're not even able to get to those. So then comes the next big conversation, raising taxes. Well, we've just raised the water rates and we all see how well that's going, and we basically did that against our will. So next will be that big conversation.
And we have increases to the regional district this year. We've got water.
Increases in everything.
So we are fixing our.
So, Trina, so if we raise the taxes to pay for the water, is that feasible? Like if we just put it as a flat rate on everybody's taxes?
Rather than raise the fee on the utility bill?
Is that even feasible?
It's not sustainable.
I would have to look into it, but.
Why wouldn't it be sustainable?
Well, how much would it raise our taxes a year?
Exactly. That's what I'm asking.
So they pay it on their taxes versus not in the bill.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's still.
Well, you could
getting paid.
increase your
It's
fee, you could increase your infrastructure charge, but it is extremely low at current.
I think that would be great for the family of 4, but it'd be difficult for the family of 2. You know what I mean? If it's a flat rate. Right? It's kind of like.
Well, there's water that we can't account for, we just bill it to the fire hall. Which is, I find really highly odd.
Well, the long and the short of it is the cost of everything's going up, and, you know, as a village, you've got to pay more, and unfortunately, that means that the residents and people that use our facilities are gonna have to pay a little bit more, because we don't really have a choice. If you want the facilities, you want the service, it's gonna be paid for.
And if I could draw everybody's attention to the general municipal, the taxes. It's extremely low.
Yes.
Yeah. Marlene?
And it has been low. We are one of the lowest in the province.
I think we're number
And we have been very reliant on the Peace River Agreement to run our community, and forgetting about raising taxes, because it's been like a wonderful deal for the residents. And here we are in 2022 saying our taxes are so low and the cost of things is so high. How do you balance it so that our people can still live and the village still has enough money to run itself? And according to the BC government, I do believe that they require 50% of your budget to be in taxes.
So, forgive me, because I'm new to this, so why was the taxation so low over previous years? Is it because council didn't have the balls to
Pretty much.
raise taxes and stuff, so now unfortunately the residents are having to pay for that lax time? Because now we gotta get back on track, and, you know, part of the reason we were elected is to get the village on track and be able to look sustainably going into the future. So I think that's one of the things we need to have, you know, our financial people, if they when they get some time after the budget's done, but going forward, we need to look at where we need to be in order to be sustainable, or to get sustainable within the next, you know.
The taxes hadn't been raised in, what, 10 years? It was 10 years.
For the new
And then I
CFO.
became a mayor.
A really long time.
Yeah, I had started attending meetings, and I am as guilty as any resident, where you just didn't want to take the time, or if people on council can look after everything. It's absolutely fine. What could they possibly do? And somebody else will take over in 4 years. So I believe it was 2015, 2016, started coming to council meetings and realized that as a community member, I should be attending these meetings, and then ran for council again. And it's all right to complain about one certain thing, to come in as a resident, but to see how it works as a whole and have an interest in how things are being discussed and the conclusions that we come to, and being able to have some input as well.
So, Gina, do you want us to raise the taxes? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want you to do anything. No, not me.
Well, you're CFO, so yes, it's you. Anyway, can I ask a question?
Yes, we have to.
We have to.
This here, is that him raising it 3.5%?
He's saying, yeah, because this is what has been done in the past.
And that will, if they
This
go
is
to the
go
3.5%,
3.5% right now, taxes, if you raise it by 3.5%, it'll be 378,000.
So we're raising it by 3%.
3.5 is the
3.5%.
suggestion,
That's just what has
Right
been
now.
done
Dollar
in the
value,
past.
because everybody's gonna be confused when they're watching this video.
Well, and it's difficult to say a percentage because it's all based on your assessments. So based on this year's assessment, increasing it by 3.5% will give us that.
equates to about,
378.
and last year it was 366, so
Yes.
that's giving us $12,000 more.
Yes.
But home values came down this last, the assessment prices dropped this last year too for a lot of properties.
Mine went up.
No, they were not.
Marcel,
Marlene?
Marlene?
What is the middle of the road?
3%.
Do you have any idea? Could you get,
$12,000 over 700, and how many properties are there?
380,
380 at 3%.
but
Like,
it's based
you
on,
just said
based on
$12,000.
assessment. I don't have the assessment off the top of my head. Maybe I do.
Could we maybe look at 3 different percentages, the 3.5, 5%, and
It's $25. Works out to be about $25 is what we pay.
Okay, I'm just gonna point out to council that we are running out of time for the budget to get it in by May 15th.
oh, yes.
So every time, I appreciate all the questions, but it would be helpful if you guys would send these questions in before the council meeting, so that at least we have a chance to gather the answers. I understand you wanna ask them on camera, which is fine,
Oh, then no.
but putting our CFO, who's an interim CFO, on the spot, and she doesn't have the answers right at the tip of her fingers, but every time you ask more questions, it delays us moving forward, is what I'm trying to get at.
But we
And-
have to ask questions.
I realize that, but we're asking you to send them in beforehand, so that she can at least get the answers for you, so that when you do ask the question on camera, she's got the answer for you.
That's fair.
That's
Or,
fair.
kind of in order to work backwards. So if if you want that number to be 500,000, that's what it ends up being, right? And then taxes are set that way.
she's gone, but, yeah, basically, like, as it stands now, as Mayor McKay, it's $25 almost, like, it's not enough, for the amount of the community cost just to maintain in the society and the rate that we live in. We have the second lowest taxes in all of British Columbia, which sounds great on paper until you realize that we're a municipality that isn't making enough money to do all the things our resident wants. We can't maintain our parks, we can't maintain our works, we can't maintain our sewer, we can't maintain our roads, we can't clear all of our snow, our garbage costs too much money, our sidewalks being fixed cost too much money, because our residents are not paying enough in taxes. And so I know we're going to get storm voted again by 15 million people, but at the same time, I don't understand how the municipality is going to be able to pay for these things at a tax rate that we're currently at. And even with a 3% jump of $25 a household, it's just not enough. It's not enough. And you know, if you all remember, what was it, Hythe lost their community to the government went in.
No, they turned it back to the regional.
Well, yeah, turned it back to the regional district, and they ended up having to raise the taxes exponentially to get the community to where it needs to be. And I fear that for Pouce Coupe. It's one of the reasons
Well, it's better do it now if we don't.
You can have the municipality raise your taxes nicely over a decade, or you can have the government come in and raise them instantly. Those are basically your options.
Really?
I understand that part of it. So what we have is we have a deficit going on, and then for next councils, we have given them for capital and infrastructure $83,000 for every year after up until 26. And I know that this is just a projected budget. I don't think at this time that it would be fair to an acting CAO and CFO to put our difficulties upon staff that are doing us an absolute favor. And we couldn't possibly live without you. Please.
Should we run away now?
Right? And hopefully,
We're just trying to
yes.
to make it so that we can make you guys look the best that you can.
Yeah,
But when you spring questions on us that you have the agenda
I know.
ahead of time, if you just dropped us an email saying, I would like to bring this up, or can you find this out before the meeting, then at least we're kind of prepared for what, because we are not the previous people that sat in these chairs.
No, you're not.
Marcel?
So one last question.
Yes.
Do you need us to make a motion to
Raise the tax.
raise the taxes?
Yes.
So you can complete the budget?
Yes.
Alright, so I'll make a
No.
motion that we,
No.
no, you got it?
They can know what they wanna see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
does it
this
need to be a motion?
this is for discussion, right?
Okay.
Do you need a decision tonight on this?
Yes, cause that affects what the tax rate and everything is going forward. That affects
Okay.
everything.
Okay,
That's
then, yeah, go
Alright.
ahead.
So I'll make a motion that we look at a 3.5% increase as stated in the interim budget for the proposed budget. And that we get, some more feedback for next year, because it's gonna ultimately be a thing the next council's gonna have to look at making that hard decision, because we need to get these ladies the numbers so that we can meet our obligations. And the 3.5% is a start, and then it'll be one of those things that hopefully by the time we get a new CFO, new CAO, they'll be able to put some numbers together for incoming council to make a more informed decision. But in the process, this is a Band-Aid on a gushing wound, right?
Second.
It's $25 every year since I've been mayor. What?
Well, she just said it.
Second.
You second? So you'll let us know the amount at the next council?
Well, if you want 3.5%, that's what it is.
No, but we'll have to tell the residents a dollar value. It won't do a 3%.
Oh, well.
They'll instantly go red when they see a percentage.
No, the tax rate bylaw will say exactly what the mill rate is.
You got a question?
All in favor? Do what?
You did it, it's
Oh.
okay.
Sorry.
Oh, hold on, can you call that again, please?
All in favor?
I'm opposed.
You're opposed?
Yeah,
Where else does money come from?
it's gonna, 3.5, I know people are gonna squawk, but
You wanna make a motion to make it higher?
yeah.
Well, put it out there.
You want a motion for it to be higher?
Yes.
Okay, what's your motion?
If you wanna calculate some numbers, that's what I was doing.
I gotta watch.
I was taking that number from,
Okay, so this is not the place to do this.
no, I know.
So, what do you wanna raise it to, Barb?
I don't know, but we have to,
So then we start at 3.5, it's a start, and then.
We can always bring it back.
We can always change it again afterwards, but these ladies need the numbers to get moving on this.
25th.
why not 4? Just a straight 4 instead of 3.5.
Okay, we can bring this back on the 25th. With some numbers.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I just make a suggestion? Something really out there and then something conservative. So we can weigh.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay.
gonna delay your guys' process anymore?
No.
Okay.
That's what I just checked. We can put the water and sewer forward without this being,
8.5 UBCM late item.
So,
So Sandy, this, me and you have to be on this call.
sorry, did you, no more questions? Everything else is good?
we're bringing it back on the 25th.
But can we find out if you have any more questions?
They're gonna email you.
We'll send you emails, we'll thoroughly read it and
Okay,
send you an
if
email.
there, okay, just keep in mind that the agenda for the 25th has to be posted by noon on Friday, okay? Because it's a special meeting, I need to get it done. So if you have questions or ideas of what you want Trina or myself to bring back, we need them tomorrow. So we can investigate and put it in the reports for the 25th, okay?
Okay.
And the water and sewer bylaws will be coming forward on the 25th for first, second, and third readings.
You might have to repeat yourself because Annie's not here. Okay, opportunity, this opportunity to discuss RCMP collective agreement, we have to be on.
Okay, yes, I just need to know who wants to attend.
Was it just CAOs? Mayor
No, it's-
and chairs?
Yeah,
Councilors?
they're chairs.
No, chair is the chair of the regional district.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what a chair is.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense for you to be there, because you're there, same people you on anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, did somebody, introduce this, first and second it?
No, I'm just talking to you right now. UBC, yeah, we did, we started it out, late item.
Okay.
Can I get a seconder?
I'll second it.
So me and Sandy will attend it.
It's Zoom.
Zoom in. May 10th, 2022.
Yep.
All in favor? 8.6 Canada Day letter. Can I get a seconder?
I'll second it.
I have some questions.
Go ahead.
What kind of donations are you looking for?
Donations from businesses, donations.
Like, are you looking for money? Are you looking for prizes? And if you're looking for prizes, what kind of events are you gonna have down there that you?
Well, you have it in the agenda, what we were doing
Yes,
down there.
yes.
That's exactly what we're doing. I just asked the disc golf guys if they wanted to be involved.
But that doesn't answer my question.
We have a $40,000 bill for our budget for Canada Day. So we need to collect money from businesses for Canada Day.
For the 40,000?
Or whatever they'll give us. I'm not asking them for $40,000.
Is the money to go towards the 40,000?
Yes. Yes, it's to pay for our Canada Day, our parade, our Canada Day, our fireworks, all that.
The fireworks is paid for by the federal. A federal grant.
Did we even make the amount, how much we're gonna do the fireworks for?
No. You haven't picked a theme for Canada Day either.
That's what I want.
Thought it was our 90th was our theme.
Okay,
Old fashioned 90. Molly?
everyone else has to be in there.
She's talking here. You put your hand up.
Oh, I was just going to say that the museum had asked what the theme was, and I just said we were doing the 90th, so is it good enough?
Okay, so would you like me to post that it's the theme of Canada Day is the 90th birthday of Poos? All those in favor, please?
Can we do?
Somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion for what you said,
Thanks, Phoebe.
and Lorraine seconds.
Thanks.
What if we did it like grunge, the 90s?
No, not the 90s.
No, 1932.
You just want to.
32, dear.
She just wants to bust out her vintage clothing.
That's
she got
right.
last week.
Old Nirvana t-shirt?
You can wear and your flared leg jeans.
Girl, I wear those all the time.
That was the 70s.
Okay, so 90th birthday is the theme. Do you want to pick a budget for the fireworks so we can talk to our hundred?
That's what we always say.
That was one day. That was 1 year. Usually it's between 2 and 5. You like the 2?
I think it's a waste of money myself for fireworks, but that just seems to be the end of Canada Day is letting off fireworks. And if we're doing what do you call it, nostalgia, you know,
Oh, yes.
the same, the
fireworks in 1932.
No, but we've always had fireworks in the village of Pooskupi, as far as I can remember.
Do we have someone that can do fireworks?
Yes, we do.
Okay, we still have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe. I hope so, yeah. Okay. But we have to give him a budget so he can order them. So, ideas on budget? Numbers, please?
Does he have like pre-Canada shows? Like,
He buys them. He orders them special. We give
Oh,
him the
okay.
budget and he buys them, because he's the pyrotechnic.
like he develops the
Yes.
show and everything
Yes.
else?
We just give them out.
Oh, okay, and he just makes it work.
Once again, a number.
Their birthday. Danielle.
What has the number?
Between 2 and 5.
Well, what was it last year?
What was it the year before?
2,500.
And the year before that?
I think that's the year we did the 6,500.
We did it for a birthday. We did it for a birthday. It was like-
Oh, 85th, then it would have been 5 years ago. We did 65. I think.
Canada's 100th or something, wasn't it?
Or maybe it was
Yeah.
21.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what it was. Okay.
Yes.
And
So
our
it is your
fireworks
90th, so our
Fireworks are covered by the federal government? Grant?
The grant, wasn't it the grant?
well, the grant just goes into the, and it just,
It's in the.
yeah, it's hidden in there.
In the price.
Yes. How much is the grant? 2,500.
Okay, $2,500.
Everybody in agreement?
All in favor?
I'm gonna be opposed because I'm as opposed to July 1st.
Alright, $2,500 budget for fireworks.
You were opposed for the parade?
One opposed. Bar, would you like it noted?
Sure.
You were opposed for the parade, sorry?
Now can I have someone make a
wasn't-
motion and second that?
You were opposed for July 1st.
Thank
All
you.
opposed to the parade?
Second?
I'll second.
We're a little backwards, but sorry.
The motion was the parade and July 1st. The motion on the floor, and I was opposed for the July 1st. So now, I'm not explaining myself, I was opposed.
So we're still on the letter.
I'm asking if you were opposed to the parade.
We have first and seconder.
Danielle,
How much money have you raised so far?
about 15 grand.
Good job. I figured I'd ask. And so basically this letter is just going out to all the businesses who have already donated?
And to other ones.
Asking new people.
Asking
That's what she's
new.
wanting.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
it's just kind of a blanket letter.
I think donations are, we're trying not to spend a ginormous amount of money. We talked about donations being a positive thing. I think it's great you've managed to get that amount of money so far. I tip my hat to you and,
Probably can get more.
you know, I say we send it out, yeah?
Okay, so that would be all in favor?
All in favor?
No one's opposed to the letter?
Yes, no. Okay. 9.1 recommendation, the council received the report for the bylaw ACO officer as information.
You don't wanna do 9 point, your correspondence?
Yes, ma'am, 9.1.
No, that's
12.1.
12.1.
No, correspondence is
No,
9.1.
You said CAO.
No, I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
I don't-
My apologies. I take it back. I take it back. I'm sorry.
Sandy's ears are getting tired.
So council received the report for the bylaw officer, OAC officer as information. I got a seconder. So we need to set a date, so I'm gonna take the opportunity for the garbage.
Set a date?
Because Sam's gonna be involved in the garbage cleanup, right? Will Sam not be involved in the garbage cleanup? No.
Why it's 70 is worth.
Well, I don't know, we need to do it, we need to set a date for that.
So, what we did last year, or the year that we moved to doing sections, is we divided posts into, I believe it was 4 or 5, or 6, I think 4 or 5. 4 or 5. And what we did was the people who responded that they wanted to take part, was they told us what day they were gonna do it. We gave them a series of weekends, it was done on the weekend mostly, or at night, and those groups, we just made sure they had the garbage bags and everything they needed, and we knew where they were going to be, and then the next day, Public Works went and picked up the garbage. They just let us know when they're finished. So, we don't really need any dates, it's spring cleanup, we're gonna put it out there. The school has gotten back to me, they would like 2 sections, and now we're just waiting for the other 2 or 3 to be taken, but if disc golf wants the park, that's fantastic. So really, we don't need a date, we've said spring 2022, and when, my other administrative assistant comes back, who's, my scheduler, she will deal with that.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
So, yes, we don't need.
Go to application.
Sandy?
I'm wondering if maybe, I know right now it's snowing and gross, but we should put a reminder in the Village Voice to people about burning permits and.
Every month it's in there.
Is it?
Yes.
I do read it, I swear.
Call for advertising for the voice?
No, but they wouldn't call me. They would call the other admin, who's on holidays right now. She might have. But yes, every.
Does anybody see any correspondence that they want to do? Danielle? Correspondence? Barb?
9.9, Moose Hive campaign. I would like to make that pass a motion that we do the proclamation.
Danielle?
I brought thingies for you all from the Moose Hive campaign. I thought I'd bring you some. I just ordered 500 of them for my school, so I grabbed some extra, for each of you. And I was wondering if the village would be interested. These are free. You can go onto the Moose Hive campaign, website, and, they will, mail them to you for free and maybe put them in the post office boxes. Brings awareness to them. Thought I'd bring you some. Oh, there you go.
But they hand them out at UBC.
Yeah, they're often handed out. It is a grassroots campaign, so. But I saw it on the agenda and I was like, I just ordered 500 of these. I'll grab 7.
Okay, did anybody second my motion?
Nope.
I did.
Okay.
All in favor?
It was a proclamation.
All right, sorry. I'm reading and making it simple.
Okay, I lost. 9.3, anybody else? Oh, that council received a letter of building sustainable relationships with indigenous communities and business partnerships in Northeast.
Sorry, what number?
9.5. Northeast is information.
And what are we doing about this?
There's nothing, just read it.
Oh.
And then 9.8, that council received email of the Pooskoopi traffic count as information. Can I get a seconder? Danny?
I can do my thing. They came in like January when it was minus 40 on the day that they were here. And they're, even in minus 40, how many people drove by? That's a ton.
And I asked her if she's familiar with, the last study that was done, and I haven't got a reply back from her. Because it was 700 and some every hour it went.
I know.
And now they're saying that there's not enough traffic still for the crosswalk?
Half of our vehicles weren't even running on this day.
Couldn't they just put a trail cam up that takes a picture every time something goes past it and just counts that way?
I don't
And leave it up there for a week?
I don't know.
And the dude must have been hypothermia. I can't
Well, I don't
imagine.
understand why they don't put the wire across the road like they do down south.
Yeah, it counts them.
Yeah.
They did.
But they didn't, no,
They
this
did
wire.
once.
Yeah, they did in 2017, they did that, and it was 736 or 765
traffic went through in an hour.
So here it now says there's 2,658 vehicles over 7 hours. That's 380 vehicles per hour. On a day, it was minus 40, with a wind chill of minus 40.
And what time did he show up there?
Yes.
Like if you get out there at 5 o'clock in the morning and sit there all frickin' day, you're gonna see the traffic.
So can we, like, I don't know, petition a redo on like a summer day for the cost?
Yes.
And we'll pay all of our children across the street 12 times.
We could sit there and count cars ourselves. Sam, can we put a letter together for the Ministry of Transportation to have another traffic study done, because we don't accept the one that
Due to extreme weather.
yeah. Considering that the 2017 one was a higher study than, and that wasn't even rocking, nothing was rocking.
Who's seconding that?
Me.
All in favor?
Okay.
So this, 9.11, Sandy, can you give me the notes on that? No. The council received a letter on funding opportunities for organic. Huh?
So this is to bring organic, recycling basically into your community. So the same idea as the recycle bins and the garbage bins. I believe you get another bin that we would have and have to be picked up and that type of thing. And it's quite expensive to get started, just like the recycle program. And you'd have to pay somebody to come and pick up the organic sorry?
Oh, and we
They're
need
running,
raccoons
sorry?
to check them.
Raccoons.
Aren't those the people that check the bins?
Ew. Ew.
Running.
Yeah, it does sound like a costly endeavor. I have composting in my backyard and it is not a big deal. It's just throwing stuff out there.
Could, by the way, chickens are great composters, just throwing that out. Could we, rather than something expensive like that, could we put like a FYI, this is how you compost, this is how you start a compost in your backyard thing in the Village Voice? Because some people, COVID brought out a lot of brand new gardeners, let's be honest, and none of these people know anything about gardening. They're way in over their heads. Teach them about composting, it'd be the best.
Or can we buy the bins for people that don't want to build a compost? And sell the bins.
Or have people
Why
buy
can't they just
bins
go
from
buy
us.
them and from Walmart or?
Yeah.
Huh?
Why can't they just go buy them?
But they had one that, the city of Dawson Creek did it a few years ago. They're not very good ones, no? Art?
We did have composters through the village a few years back.
It's in partnership with the Dawson.
Yeah.
So that has
been
been
done,
compost
yeah.
bins.
Where they had them at the, what do you call it?
Picked them up in Dawson. You ordered them and picked them up in Dawson.
They had them at the trade fair.
We can definitely have our journalists write up something about composting.
I think that would be great.
Yeah. That next letter's gonna be.
That's a step forward.
It is.
Okay, and it's costly. It's costly.
Resolutions none, bylaws none, administration reports, 12.1 CAO to present at the meeting, because we never got it on email.
It's right here. Does anyone have any questions? So the council meeting for May 2nd has been moved to May 2nd. The council meeting for May 4th has been moved to May 2nd and notices have been posted due to the fact that most of us will be at the NCLGA conference. The alley rename, I have spoken to Mr. Palmer and he is in the process of speaking to his family, but the name suggestion that they came up with her full name, Secret Palmer Lane or Alley or whatever we decide. And he asked me about doing a little, little presentation or something. I said, council could probably just do when we erect the sign or something like that. I did some election training last week. We held a staff meeting and a safety meeting. Worked on the agenda and 6 sets of minutes. I attended a ministry call on the announcement that the government is allocating $830 million for connectivity, and the PRD is working with them on that too. And if we know of any new internet providers that we would like to see within the village, we're supposed to send notice to the government, and they will work with them. Sterling?
Starlink.
They have that.
That's
Do they?
Elon Musk's
Yeah, Elon Musk.
satellite internet.
I've been working, we've had meetings with Urban Systems and the Director of Public Works regarding the outfall bypass. So, you were talking about stuff down at so we are in the process of working on a plan to fix it. We've picked a plan that Urban Systems is going to start with, okay? That is what the $750,000 was for. We have applied to the government for the outfall discharge, what's it called?
Permit for the district.
Permit for the summer, and it has been approved, okay? So we are good to go. We just have to let the government know when they will be discharging, and Blair thought in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but that was before Mother Nature decided she was going to do this crappy stuff. I attended the special meeting on April 8th with all of council. On Thursday, I have a Zoom meeting with North Winds to discuss the public consultation request. His request is, what does council want them to present to the public?
What they wanna do?
Is there anything specific? I realize the concept needs to be presented, and
The whole concept needs to be presented to the taxpayers.
Could you repeat that question?
I have a telephone conference with Northwinds tomorrow morning, and they're just wanting to know what it is council would like them to put forward to the public regarding what's going in over there.
Kind of the same presentation they gave us. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, to the public and let them ask their questions.
And they're gonna hold it at the,
We haven't got that far. Tomorrow's the first time I'm talking to them about it since they asked. And then on Friday, Trina and I have a call with Urban Systems regarding the next step in our asset management program. Trina has brought up some things that need to be addressed, and Urban Systems is going to help us, as well as Andy, our grant writer. We're all going to be on a call together to figure out what the next move is, because apparently this project has been stalled for a little while. So we're going to work on that. We've talked about the special meetings. I worked on more election stuff, different election stuff. And then today I received a call from Jeremy Letter with the Dare to Dream Society, who has offered to take on Canada Day.
What does that mean?
he's gonna organize it.
So we put out, well, we haven't actually put it out there yet because we haven't had time, but he heard that we were looking for somebody, a committee, and they're willing to head up the committee and do the planning. And so I don't know if you're familiar, I wasn't until I went online, but he's been doing the music festival in Kin Park for the last 6 years.
Nice.
And they have everything. They have bouncy castles, they set up a pool, they have slip and slides, they do all sorts of things, but they do the gathering, the entertainment, and I don't know, but I don't know all the details yet.
There's the thing, how much it's gonna cost.
No, that's not what I heard, but anyway, I don't know all the details. Like I said, I just had a really short conversation with him, and it's one step in the next direction.
That's awesome.
So I will try to get some more information. I'm not going to guarantee it for the next 3 council meetings. Maybe on the 4th one.
Well, thank you very much to Jeremy for even being willing.
And that's all I have. And if I've forgotten anything, it's because I'm too busy.
I really appreciate you ladies, and thank you so much.
I think she's scared.
I really do.
Thank you.
Action items.
Anybody see anything?
I tried to complete it all, but I couldn't. Sorry.
Hmm?
I tried to complete it all, but I just couldn't. I have too many jobs right now.
What's this, on Peace River Regional District for information? Because they're taking it on, right?
Because they're doing all the work regarding the radio repeater system,
Okay.
and I was asked to put that just for information for now.
Okay.
There's nothing we need to do, but I had asked if I could remove it, and I was asked to just put it as for information.
Okay.
That's why I left it like that.
So CAO will try and schedule this meeting for April 20th meeting for Sukanka?
Yeah, you see how the April 20th meeting's going? I'm sorry, I'll try. I want to clarify, at the last meeting, you want to see the movie before July 1st, right?
Yes.
Okay. I need to clarify that and.
June.
Down at the park.
No, I can do it on May 19th because we'll be finished the budget. So I'll see if I can arrange it for May 19th council meeting.
Ooh, wine and popcorn.
So it's a bit.
So there's nothing.
Okay, nobody said anything?
There's not really we haven't really done anything on capital and special projects yet. It's too cold for roads.
Yeah.
Okay. Council calendars, correct. There's nothing? Nobody has anything? Counselor Smith.
Yes, connectivity. Please, the regional district has a survey online, and what they're basically looking for is where there is internet or cell service versus, I know they're asking where it's needed, so we were doing a survey and we're kind of looking at where we have it would give us more information than where we don't have it, i.e. Alaska Highway, drive to Chetwynd, it's for 911, etc. So if everyone would fill out that survey that they're collecting data and it's time sensitive.
It's on the PRD.
PRD, can it be moved off there and put on our site for our residents to,
We can share it on it's on their Facebook page, so we can just share it, yeah.
on ours, and then our residents can do it? Please? Okay. Thank you. Anything else, Bert?
No.
Marnie?
I went to a museum meeting on Thursday. Can't even remember the date. Haven't seen them for a while. And we did discuss the things that are coming up and the May 7th flea market swap meet thing that they're.
Is he doing the garage sale this year?
Hmm?
Is he doing the garage sale this year?
No, it's too much.
So what's he gonna do?
It's a flea market type of thing. They're setting up, they're renting sections, and that's why they need the roads blocked off. And they're going to have sections that people can rent and then sell whatever they want. But it's the rent from the tables that they're.
So are they also gonna do their tea?
Yes, they're going to be doing their spring tea in June. And they're getting ready for that too. And they're going, I think I told you what they were going to be doing last meeting.
Well, I
I
have
brought
the
in a
minutes.
poster that was do you? Yeah, it was on the poster. They were doing a pancake breakfast for this flea market thing and.
Car show.
Yeah, the car show. They're gonna try to do that. There were things that they hadn't solidified yet, but they were working on it. Yeah, it was wonderful. And on Friday went to the seniors was very nice to have their seniors dinner again. And what else did they do? That was about it.
Danielle Beach?
Didn't really do a whole lot, actually. I don't have my next library board meeting till tomorrow, so, I talked with Courtney a little bit about Canada Day stuff. Roped my husband into making all the, game things, so he's making these like ski things for kids to, they go with their friends and they race on.
Smooshing.
Thank you. I don't know. And then I roped him into setting up the tire pull, and really I just bossed him around when we were doing, so we're doing that for Canada Day. I spoke with you about the donation thing, and you can slap me because I still haven't done it. I'm so sorry.
Got what to do.
Yeah, no, on a counselor note, but Counselor Smith keeps asking about chickens, and so she's sort of frightened me, so now I'm getting chickens. So I've been dealing with that firsthand.
Did you see on that, marketplace where all the chickens are? That farmer's marketplace, they've got funny roosters, what is that?
I like the ones with the fuzzy feet, they're called silkies.
Did it taste good?
We don't eat them, we just eat their eggs. Anyway, that's about the gist of it.
Let's do it all.
Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna make a motion that we extend the meeting past 9 o'clock.
Can I have a seconder?
And Amy, Counselor Speech's chickens. Yeah, no, I had a conversation today with Jeremy Linkletter from Dare to Dream Society. So I reached out to them a while back when we were organizing stuff for Canada Day and seeing if there was anything that they wanted to come down and be involved with as nonprofits within the area. And had a good chat with him this year about coming down and helping us out. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've really done this week.
So do you want to make a motion to ask him to take it over, or?
We'll leave that with staff for now until they get
I don't
everything
know the
figured out and
details
we'll
yet.
bring it back. It's one of those things that, yeah, that's what the
We're
letters
just
are.
starting.
At least start that conversation.
I got nothing. I did Easter Bunny and I worked at St. Mark's. That's all I did. 14, in camera, as per section 91M of the community charter, recommendation that council move into the in camera as per section 91M. Matter that under another enactment is such that the public may be excluded from the meeting.
Second.
Motion to
Well, we gotta